Bonjour à tous. Aujourd'hui, on va commencer avec unité numéro 9, la gare et le train. This is Unit 9, the train station and the train. La gare et le train. Our last unit was l'aéroport et l'avion, the airport and planes, and this one is the train station and the train. All right, let's get started. On commence. Okay, so the first slide, you can play this on your own, but avant une annonce, on va entendre ce son. Before an announcement, you're going to hear this particular sound. I'll just play it. And I mention this because, as a cultural point, every single time they do an announcement at any train station in France run by the SNCF, which is the National Train Company, you will hear that little ditty right beforehand. Okay, so get used to hearing that. That means il y a une annonce. Il y a une annonce. Il faut entendre. You need to listen because there's an announcement coming. This is a music video by David Gilmour, formerly of Pink Floyd, that actually uses that sound from the SNCF train announcement. So you can listen to that on your own. Okay, le train. Okay, I think we can figure out that's the train. Le TGV, c'est un train très très vite. Il roule vers 200 miles per hour. Okay, so le TGV is actually a really fast train. It's the high-speed train in France. Le TGV stands for train à grande vitesse, high-speed train. Okay, and it goes around 200 miles an hour. All right, so if you want to get somewhere quickly, this is not Amtrak. Okay, and I've got a few videos here that you can watch on your own that show just how quick these trains are. They're pretty fun to watch, except for that one apparently. So, on va parler des régions de TGV. Okay, so here are the regions of the TGV. It pretty much covers everywhere in France. It crosses over. You go up into Belgium. You can go across on the Eurostar into England. And of course, all of these trains keep going into other countries, okay? But these areas are covered by the French system called the SNCF. Okay, et ça c'est Paris. Il y a beaucoup de gares à Paris. There are a lot of train stations in Paris. Il y a combien de gares? Okay, il y a une gare, deux, trois, quatre, cinq, six, sept. There are 7 different train stations in the city of Paris, okay? And the reason there are different ones is because the different stations go in different directions, okay? So if you want to go north of Paris, you would take trains from Gare du Nord, okay, the north station. If you're heading east of Paris, when I went to my host family who lives in the eastern part of France, I would get the train from Gare de l'Est, from East Station, because it would be heading east. Okay, Gare de Lyon heads toward Lyon, so southeast of Paris. Okay, Gare d'Austerlitz heads south. Okay, Montparnasse is southwest, and Gare Saint-Lazare heads sort of like northwest west. Okay, and then Paris-Bercy is a little more limited, but you can get some going this direction as well. So all of the subway systems connect to these, and you may get on a subway here, and you have to get to Gare du Nord because you want to take the train to the airport, which is this line B right here. So you may come in on one train station and have to transfer to a different train station to get your next train. Okay, so une gare, c'est pas pour tous. One station does not do everything. Okay, et ça c'est le network du TGV. That is your TGV network right there. You can tell there's a big hole in the middle here. This is highly rural. There's also a small mountain range here called the Massif Central, which has something to do with the lack of coverage, but it doesn't mean that there isn't transportation here. Same thing here in the Northwest. In Normandy, there are trains that go here. They're just not TGV. They're regional trains, so they're a little bit slower, but they still get you where you need to go. Okay, on va continuer les bagages. Salut Michel. Hey Michael, how you doing, buddy? Les bagages, on sait déjà les bagages. We already know bagages. Vous prenez beaucoup de bagages? Do you take lots of bags ou peu de bagages quand vous voyagez en train? So, how many bags do you take when you travel? Si vous êtes avec moi, vous allez prendre peu de bagages. You will take very little if you're with me. Okay? On peut acheter un magazine, un journal ou une carte postale au kiosque. Ça, c'est un kiosque. Tu dis kiosque presse. Okay? Kiosques are like these standalones. press agencies where you can pick up postcards, une carte postale, un journal, a newspaper, un magazine, a magazine you can buy at these kiosks, and the kiosks are outside. They're also dans la gare. They're also in the train stations. Okay. Gare du Nord, c'est une très grande gare à Paris. We just mentioned the big train stations. This is one of the biggest. Gare du Nord. This is what it looks like on the outside. C'est super joli. OK? À l'intérieur, le train roule sur une voie. Une voie, c'est ça. This is the train track, une voie. OK? Les voyageurs ou les passagers, you could say travelers, les voyageurs, or les passagers, which we already know, attendent le train sur le quai. Le quai is the platform here. It's not the quay, it's not the quai, it's not Jamiroquai. Okay, le quai. Le quai, c'est où on attend le train. This is where we wait for the train. La voie, ça, c'est pour le train. Okay? C'est la rue pour les trains. It's like the road for the train. Okay? Okay. On a, you can already guess what this is, ça c'est un écran. Oui? Un écran. Juste comme l'aéroport. But we can also use another term, un horaire. It's the schedule, right? C'est un écran, c'est aussi un horaire pour les heures des arrivées et des départs des trains. So, c'est la même chose qu'avant. It's the same thing we did before, right? OK? On va acheter un billet. On va au guichet pour acheter un billet de train. Ça, c'est un guichet là. OK? Un guichet is like the ticket window. OK? Et qu'est-ce qu'on fait là? On va acheter un billet de train, un billet. So I'm going to buy a ticket. OK? Et tu peux acheter en ligne aussi. You can also buy tickets online. We'll probably do one of those in a webcast. Mais tu peux acheter face à face aussi. You can also buy them face to face at a guichet. Okay? On fait la queue au guichet. So if you're going to go to the guichet, you probably have to wait in line. On fait la queue. La queue is like the tail of an animal. It's also the name for a line. The British use this term to make a queue. Okay? C'est fait la queue. But your choices are, tu as un choix de billets. Tu peux acheter un billet aller simple ou un billet aller-retour. Okay? Aller simple means you're simply going. It's a one-way ticket. Aller-retour implies that you're going to go and come back. So it's a return ticket. Okay? Here we go. Et voilà, c'est un billet. Et il y a l'information aussi. Just like the information that we saw on a billet d'avion, on an airline ticket, il y a l'information similaire sur un billet de train. Okay? So we have the travel date, la date. On a departure time, l'heure de départ. Ça, c'est la route. Paris Nord, c'est la provenance. Et Bruxelles Midi, c'est la destination. Ça, c'est deuxième classe numéro 2, OK? C'est le numéro de train. Un TGH, c'est le type de train, OK? Voiture numéro 5, so train car number 5. Place assise 41. So the seat is a seated seat because we'll find out later not everybody gets a seat. Depends on the type of ticket and train. Fenêtre, we've seen this before. You have a window seat, okay? Et on a aussi le prix là. And then we have the price there. So ça, c'est l'information assez similaire, okay? Donc, si on regarde ça, l'île Flandre, c'est le provenance. Paris Nord, c'est la destination. OK? Départ le 6 septembre à 8h30 de l'île Flandre. Et on va arriver à 9h32 à Paris Nord. OK? C'est le TGV, so we know it's a high-speed train. C'est le numéro de train. OK? Deuxième classe, voiture numéro 15, car number 15. Place assise 28, that's the name, the number of my seat. Couloir, I'm in the aisle, okay? Et ça, c'est le prix, okay? There's your basic information. Et on a une autre aussi. You can take a minute to look at this one and figure out what is where, what information do you have, okay? And what can you figure out about this billet. OK. Ça, c'est assez important. Tu as un billet, mais tu peux pas monter le train jusqu'à composter ton billet. So you can't get on the train, or you shouldn't, until you compost your billet. OK? Il faut composter son billet avant de monter un train. So you must validate your ticket before you get on the train. And they have these little yellow jelly bean things that kind of look like minions. And you stick the end of your ticket inside of the composteur, okay? And it will type information on your ticket that says the date and the time when you use this ticket, because tickets can be changed and exchanged pretty easily. And they don't want people to commit fraud and like try to use the same train ticket for like 4 different trips. So you have to stick it in the jelly bean, in the minion, le composteur, before you get on the train. See this nice guy with the suit on? He's going to check in the train while you're moving if you did that. And you will have to pay a fine if you don't put your ticket in the jelly bean before you get on the train. Okay? So ticket in the jelly bean, please. Okay, on arrive en avance, ça c'est important. Trains in France tend to be quite on time most of the time, but il faut arriver en avance. Let's arrive early, okay? On ne veut pas rater le train. We don't want to miss the train, okay? Si tu arrives en retard, tu peux rater le train. If you show up late, you can miss the train. Zut alors. Oh là là, it's not good, okay? So, rate pas le train. Tu as soif ou tu as faim? Tu peux aller au restaurant pour manger, ou même un petit snack bar. Maybe there's like a little standalone snack bar you could go to. Some of the larger train stations, les grandes gares, ils ont aussi les restaurants. They also have restaurants like this one, Le Train Bleu, which is pretty well known. And if you check it out, this one's been around for a while. This is the inside. Ça, c'est l'intérieur du Train Bleu. So you can eat pretty stylishly, all right, at the train station if you really want to. Mais on a décidé pas faire. We decided not to do that. So, on va monter en train. We're going to get on the train. Il y a un contrôleur dans le train. And why is he called the contrôleur? Parce qu'il contrôle les billets dans le train. He is in charge of checking, or we could say, il vérifie les billets dans le train, right? He checks the tickets on the train. C'est quelle classe de train? Ça, c'est un train première ou deuxième classe ou seconde. But ça, c'est un numéro 2. You see a number on the outside. There will be an 1 or a 2, and that implies which class the train car is, if it's first class or second class. First class costs more, okay, but it's a little cushier, it's got a little more space, and your seats are always reserved. You definitely have a spot, okay? So en première ou seconde, we also say deuxième classe. Okay, donc ici, cette voiture est en deuxième classe. You say seconde on the outside, which implies deuxième classe, second class. All right, which is totally fine. It's all going the same place, right? Cette voiture est en première et en seconde. Première et deuxième classe. So part of the train is first class, part of it is second. Okay, tous les sièges. So un siège is the same thing as une place. Okay, tous les sièges d'un TGV sont réservés. Il faut réserver un siège dans le train. So you must reserve a seat on the train if you are in first class. Okay. Elle monte en train. Elle monte en train. They are getting on the train. Elle monte. Think like when you like mount a horse, you get on something. Tu montes. Okay. Ils descendent le train. Now they're getting off the train. Ils descendent, right? They're descending from the train. And your other action is going to be, si j'ai une correspondance, je change de train. OK? Donc, on a une voiture, on monte en voiture, on descend du train, et si on a une correspondance, on va changer de train. So, une correspondance on a train is like une escale on a plane. It means you have a change of trains. You have a connection. OK? So, il faut changer de train si tu as une correspondance. OK, on est dans le train. On est bien monté. Je trouve ma place. Oui, comme l'avion. Gotta find my seat, just like I did on the plane. Et on a des places côté couloir et des places côté fenêtre. OK? Quels passagers sont assis? Les deux passagers-là sont assis. Assis implies they're seated. Et le mec-là, il est debout. Il est debout. He's standing. OK? On va au snack bar pour acheter une boisson, un repas ou un snack. Il y a toujours une ou deux voitures de train qui sont les snack bars. You'll have at least one train car on the train, depending on what kind of train you're on. But on the TGV, you always have at least one voiture snack bar, a restaurant car, which is called a snack bar. And you can get all kinds of stuff there. They have hot meals, they have cold sandwiches and desserts and hot drinks, cold drinks. They have all that stuff, okay? Ils attendent les autres. Ils attendent les autres sur le quai. They're waiting for the others on the platform. Ils sont impatients. They're pretty impatient. Ils perdent patience. They're losing their patience. That's a real picture of a whole bunch of us traveling together, waiting for one kid who didn't get off the train on time. OK. Ils sont à quelle voie? Ils ont à quelle voie? Une voie, c'est ça. La voie, c'est numéro 19. So we are waiting at track number 19. Those are 3 of my former travelers as well. Et ça, c'est une petite vidéo pour finir. And you can watch that one on your own as well. Okay, so that is it. Ça, c'est tout pour vocabulaire. C'est pas trop long. Mais c'est maintenant, il faut étudier un peu, jouer un peu avec les cartes Quizlet. Merci à tous. À plus.